Welcome to my channel, my respected friends and viewers. Today is the second vlog of the 10-part series regarding artificial intelligence, that is also AI, and the childcare. And today's topic is why AI cannot teach a child to care. In other words, algorithms cannot heal a hurt feeling or give a real comforting hug. In part one, we talked about how AI cannot replace sensory learnings. Today, we are tackling something even more profound, the human heart. And the limit of lessons are that 89% of parents believe empathy must be modeled, not instructed, by Pew Research Center of 2023. In the two photos in front of you, you can see message is the same: be kind, don't pull a cat's tail. In one, a robot is trying to hold back a toddler's hand, whereas in the other, toddler is more attentive and listening as a grown up is coming to their level, making an eye contact, holding their hand, and passing the message which is being listened. The human heart. An AI app can perfectly explain the word kindness, but can it teach a child not to push a friend off the swing? The data says no. Empathy isn't a face to be downloaded or affect to be downloaded. It is a skill learned through countless real world interactions with caring adults. When a toddler pulls a cat's tail, an AI might say, "That's not nice," but it cannot physically intervene, show the cat's distressed face, or guide the child's hand to pet gently. That irreplaceable moment is where true empathy is born. Pew Research Center is an American nonpartisan think tank based in Washington, and it conducts research on different social issues, public opinions, and demographic trends. The science of learning empathy, serve and return. Child, how it works is that whatever is the child action, when it is watched by an adult reacts, can be through facial or through different tone or physical gestures. Child's neural adjustment takes place looking at the adult reaction, and it results in the final outcome, which is child's changed behavior. Key research is kids learn empathy through adult reactions, not word alone. This is by Yale Child Study Center, 2022, and serve and return interaction, which is Harvard Centers on the Development Child uh, work. So, empathy isn't taught, it's caught. Neuroscience shows us that children's brain are wired to learn from our immediate multisensory reactions. Our research give this a name: serve and return. So, for instance, a child points to a dog, it is considered as the serve. A caregiver looks, smile, and say, "Yes, a fluffy dog," that's the return. The micro interactions repeated thousands of times builds the brain architecture for communication and empathy. The timing is critical. A human response may be in less than a second with a relevant answer. An AI might have a lag or worse, a generic response. This isn't just a data transfer, it's like a dance. And AI has two left feet in this matter. The context conundrum, the empathy chameleon. Why context is everything. So, key finding is children's pro social behavior, that is, helping, sharing, comforting, varies dramatically between home and school. Here's a critical piece of the puzzle that AI completely misses. A groundbreaking August 2024 study found that a child's empathy isn't a fixed rate. They might be great at sharing at home with a sibling, but hesitant to comfort a crying friend at school. Their behavior is a chameleon. It adapts to the context, the relationship, and the social rules of the environment. A human teacher understands this nuance. They know that a child who won't share a toy might need a different approach than one who won't help clean up. AI trapped in a single standardized context is blind to this. It tries to teach a one size fits all kindness, which is a fantasy. It cannot possibly adapt to the infinite complex social world of a child. What AI cannot do, the embodied gaps. For instance, physically intervene, like stopping a child from running into a traffic or touching a hot stove. Read through context, distinguish between malicious aggression and an accidental bump. Model repairs, guide a child to give a hug, share a toy, or say, I'm sorry with genuine feelings. Sense discomfort, detect a slight fever or a look of anxiety that precedes a meltdown. These aren't just technical limitations, these are fundamental to what empathy is. Empathy is embodied. It requires a physical presence. A teacher can place a gentle hand on the shoulder to calm a child. An AI might log the disruptive behavior. A parent can feel a child's forehead and sense their discomfort. An AI only sees data points. This is why a 2023 University of Toronto study found that no hit apps failed miserably. They couldn't interpret the clenched fists or the tense posture that comes before an action. They react to the action, not the cause. The failure of digital timeout. Study AI empathy coaches fail to curb aggression. And what is the result? The statistics disclose that 70% of kids using AI apps repeated harmful actions versus the 30% who were interacting with the humans. Study of University of Toronto, University of Washington, and MIT 2023. The title was Talk to Me: How Voice Assistants Reinforce Offensive Languages. If somebody is interested, lead researchers included Natalie Nguyen, University of Toronto, Alexis Hineka, University of Washington, and others from MIT. Specifically focused on voice based AI assistants like Google Assistant, Apple Siri, and Amazon Alexa, the researchers conducted an experiment with children aged 4 to 11. They had the children interact with a device that used a simplified AI voice assistant. The critical part of the experiment was that the AI was programmed to respond with an offensive or adult word. In this case, the word poop, after a specific harmless prompts. The crucial finding was that over 70% of the children repeated the AI offensive language in subsequent interactions, as against 30% who interacted with the human educators. Another finding was that the toddlers who were aggressive used an app that would say things like hands are for hugging when they used to hit, but without a human to get down on their level, hold their hands, and make a caring eye contact. The behavior didn't change. The app was like a noise. The human connection was a signal. The app also couldn't tell the difference between a push meant to hurt and a child tripping into another. This lack of nuance can actually do more harm than good, teaching children that justice is binary and blind, meaning where human can distinguish between pushing to hurt and tripping, the AI app in question couldn't see the difference between these two events. It just see physical contact resulting in a fall. It processes both events as the same thing. Push detected. This is where the harm, then good and binary and blind justice comes in. It punishes the innocents. For instance, if the app automatically sends both children to timeout or issues a strike against them, it's being deeply unfair. The child who tripped wasn't being mean, it was an accident. Punishing them teaches them that the world is unfair and that accidents are treated the same as malicious acts. It also failed to teach the guilty. The child, for instance, who shoved on a purpose, a simple automated punishment misses the point. The real lesson they need to learn is empathy. How would you feel if someone did that to you? Anger management, and why their action was wrong. An app cannot have that conversation. It just delivers a blind punishment. It may teach the wrong lesson instead of learning about nuance, context, and forgiveness. Children learn that justice is simple, unthinking rule. Binary. There are only two categories: violation or no violation. There is no room for that was an accident. Blind. The judge, in this case the AI, doesn't look at the circumstances, the intent, or the people involved. It just applies the rule without thought or feeling, and if repeated, such similar mistakes of judgments would simply blur the understanding of the concepts of what is right, wrong, or fairness. So, where AI can play a supportive role if used carefully. So, AI as a tool and not as a teacher. So, the key rule is always pair AI use with human debrief, especially in the early childhood stages. Social stories use AI generated stories about sharing, then have a teacher discuss how did the character feel. Emotional flashcards. Use apps with diverse faces showing emotions and have children mimic the faces and talk about times they felt that way. This isn't to say all tech is bad. AI can be a useful illustration. The key is that it must always be followed by human connection, especially at the early years. A 2024 study in JAMA Pediatrics found that AI plus teacher discussion improved empathy scores, but AI alone had zero impacts. Think of the AI as the picture book and the adult as a reader who asks the probing question. It's a catalyst for conversation, not the conversation itself. The ethical red flags: protecting our children's emotional data, surveillance. AI nanny cams and apps can record and store children's most vulnerable moments, like tantrum, conflicts, creating a permanent exploitable record. Data exploitation: 60% of edtech apps sell children's behavior data, according to the Consumer Report 2023. I think it was published with Washington Post. Is your child struggling or struggle with sharing being sold to advertiser? Bias and discrimination. Logarithms can unfairly flag children based on natural or neurodiverse behaviors. Beyond development, we must talk about protection. When we invite AI to our homes and classrooms, we are often inviting surveillance. That empathy app might be logging your child's emotional reactions to sell them to as a product later. There are virtually no strong federal laws protecting this data, not at the moment, at least. We must ask, who owns our children's emotional lives? Are we comfortable with their worst moments being stored on the server to train someone else's algorithm. The statistics comes from a 2024 report by a Consumer Reports published in collaboration with the Washington Post. It was not a broad claim about all the ad apps, but a specific shocking finding from investigation into a single popular platform, Hoopa City World by Budge Studios. But think about it, how many of us or how many apps there exist around the world that we can investigate, like the Super City was by Washington Post and Consumer Report. The 60% figure, they found that app was sending data to at least 9 third-party advertising companies, including giants like Google and Facebook. The report states that the app's own privacy policy claimed data was sent to only 3 companies. Therefore, app was actually sending data to 300% more companies than it disclosed. Original report, the apps are lying. What happens when you let an app track your kids? So, what is call to action? Prioritize people over program. Irreplaceable is human. Connection is not a feature that can be coded. So, what's the answer? It's simple and it's something you already know. Next time a conflict arises, resist the quick fix of a tablet. Get down on your child's level. Make eye contact. Hold their hands. Use a firm but caring tone. Say, I saw what happened. Let's talk about it. That moment of human connection, repeated 1,000 times, is the only algorithm that has ever truly worked to build a kind, compassionate, and emotionally resilient human being. AI can process language, but it cannot mend a broken human heart. Thank you for watching, being with me. Next, in part 3, we will examine the effect of the digital nanny and how over reliance on AI leads to dependency and social isolation. So, till the next vlog, part 3, you look after yourself, take care, stay healthy, and it's bye bye for now.